Hello students, today my lesson will be on chemical coordination in plants, especially referring to tropic movements. Now when a seed germinates in the soil, its root and shoot keep growing. But the growth of the root and shoot has to take place in the right direction. The root has to grow downwards in the soil, which will then provide support, water and minerals for the plant. The shoot must grow up towards the light source so that the developing leaflets could carry out photosynthesis. Movements of these parts of the plant take place in direct response to the external stimuli. The direction of the response is related to the direction from which the stimulus comes. The term tropic comes from the Greek word tropos, which means to turn. Growth movements occurring in response to unidirectional external stimuli in a plant part are called tropic movements, which means an external stimuli is required for this kind of a tropic movement. I come to the first kind of tropic movement, which is phototropism, which means movement towards light. The shoot of the plant bends towards light, which is the external stimulus. Shoots are growing towards light, hence it is a positive tropic movement, whereas the roots are growing away from light, hence it is a negative tropic movement, which means shoots are positively phototropic and roots are negatively phototropic. Let's study the role of auxins, which are certain kind of plant hormones, and their role in phototropism. Auxins tend to get accumulated in the darker side of the shoot, resulting in rapid cell division. Thus, there is a bending of the shoot towards the direction of light. If the light is from here, right from the top, it is equally received by both sides. But when you have the light a little away from directly overhead, then there is rapid cell elongation at this part, which is the shade. And hence you have bending of the shoot towards light as we see here. I come to the next movement, which is geotropism. The term geotropism means growing towards the Earth's gravity. It is also called gravitotropism. Organs which grow towards gravity are positively geotropic, that is the roots. And those that grow away from gravity are negatively geotropic, that is the shoot. The shoots hence show negative geotropism, whereas the roots show positive geotropism. Clinostat is an instrument which helps us to demonstrate geotropism. Two such instruments are taken and fixed with potted plants horizontally. One is continuously rotated and one is kept constant. After some time, it is noticed that the one which is not rotated, in this case, the shoot moves upwards and shows negative geotropism, and the roots move downwards and show positive geotropism. In the other clinostat, which is continuously being rotated, there is no bending of the plant. This is due to the fact that all parts are equally exposed to the force of gravity. So what is a clinostat? It allows a potted plant to rotate at a very slow speed. Now I go to the next one, which is thigmotropism. The growth movement of plants in response to the stimulus of touch is called thigmotropism. That means a directional response of a plant to touch or physical contact. Plants such as sweet pea, cuscuta, and vines have tendrils. Do you see the tendrils here? These are tendrils which coil around other plants in response to a one-sided contact or touch. Stimulus is perceived by these tendril tips, and then it is transmitted right to the basal part. In this way, the entire tendril becomes sensitive to the stimulus. After receiving the stimulus, the tendril starts twining around the support. That means in thigmotropism, here what we see, twining of tendrils around the support. And you also have negative theotropism, turning away from pressure. Positive tropism is around the tendrils. Positive tropism when the Venus flytrap snaps shut the moment an insect touches it. Negative tropism is seen with touch, unstimulated state, whereas the moment you touch, the leaves fold. In the mimosa plant, once again we see in the unstimulated state, the leaves are standing open. The moment it is touched by a finger, you have cells becoming flaccid and the leaves closing. That means it is a negative thigmotropism. The next one is hydrotropism. The movement of plant parts in response to the stimulus of water or moisture is called hydrotropism. When any part of the plant grows towards moisture, it is said to be positively hydrotropic, just as we see in roots which grow towards moisture. When a plant part grows away from the source of moisture, that is called negatively hydrotropic. This is an experiment to show hydrotropism. If you look at this moist soil, you have the root growing straight. But a pot with dry as well as soil, where a clay pot with moisture is put in, now the clay allows moisture to escape. So this part of the soil becomes moist. Hence you see the bending of the root towards moisture. That is because the root is positively hydrotropic. Next, we come to chemotropism. Chemotropism is a phenomenon of growth of plant organs in response to chemicals. The movement of the pollen tube in angiosperms and gymnosperms towards sugars and peptones secreted by the neck canal cells of the female gametophyte is an example of chemotropism. You also have seen the example here shown is of Drosera, which is a plant which shows chemotropism. These are the tentacles towards the source of nutrition. They show a positive movement because they curl around the source of nutrition. So that is a chemotropic movement which is positive. The growth of fungi in response to areas rich in nutrition is also positively chemotropic movement.